I noticed her before she spoke. The woman in the parked car, half hidden in the fading light, eyes fixed on me like she'd rehearsed this moment 100 times. I was walking my daughter out of my mother-in-law's house when her window slid down. A slow, deliberate sound, almost like a warning. "I used to work for them," she said. No greeting, no hesitation. Just truth or something pretending to be. I froze. Her voice carried a kind of exhaustion. The kind that comes from carrying a secret too heavy for one person. She leaned closer, eyes trembling. "Look under your daughter's bed." A beat. "You'll find it there." And then she drove away. No explanation. No chance for questions. Just an empty street, a fading cloud of dust, and a sentence that crawled under my skin and stayed there. My daughter squeezed my hand, oblivious. My mother-in-law stood on the doorstep behind us, smiling like the world was intact, like nothing had shifted. But something had. I felt it, and it felt intentional. All evening, my mind circled her words. I tried to shake it off, tell myself she was confused, mistaken, unstable. But her voice, it had been too steady, too certain. People lie, but fear doesn't. I watched my daughter play, laugh, breathe, every movement suddenly under a microscope. My wife sat beside me, scrolling her phone, casual, unaware, humming quietly. I studied her too, especially the way she avoided meeting my eyes all night. By the time everyone fell asleep, the tension inside me had sharpened into something cold, something steady. I waited until the house was silent. Then I stepped into my daughter's room. Moonlight cut across the floor in a thin silver line. She lay curled under her blanket, small, peaceful, trusting. I crouched beside the bed and slowly reached underneath. My hand brushed something, thick, flat, a sealed folder, exactly where the woman said it would be. A sound escaped me, something between a breath and a warning to myself. I pulled it out, held it in my hands. The weight of it felt wrong, heavy in a way paper shouldn't be. My pulse steadied, too calm, too controlled. I took it to the hallway where the light wouldn't wake anyone, sat on the edge of the stair, and opened it, only for the world I thought I knew to split clean down the middle. Inside the folder, the first thing I saw was a photograph. My wife, holding a newborn that wasn't ours, smiling a smile I hadn't seen in years, wide, reckless, intimate. At first, my brain refused to understand. It tried to rearrange the image into something harmless, a cousin's child, a volunteer event, something I could forgive. Then I noticed it. Her hand, the way it rested on the man's chest next to her, familiar, possessive, the kind of touch she'd stopped giving me long before. I realized she'd taken it somewhere else. A date was written on the back, 1 year before our daughter was born. My stomach tightened, but my face stayed expressionless. I kept flipping through the pages. Messages, printed screenshots, appointments, receipts from a clinic, fertility, consultations dated during the months. She told me she was too stressed for intimacy. And then the final page, a DNA test. Not mine. The father's name was blacked out, but the conclusion wasn't. 97% probability. My fingers went still. For a full minute, I didn't breathe. The hallway felt stretched, silent, unreal, as if the house itself was holding its breath with me. My daughter shifted in her sleep behind the door. My wife exhaled softly in the bedroom down the hall. They had no idea the truth was unspooling in my hands. I read the report again, slowly, deliberately. Then I stood. My body moved without emotion, no anger, no shaking. Just purpose, a cold surgical clarity I hadn't felt in years. I walked into our bedroom. She stirred when I turned on the light. Her eyes blinked open, confused at first, then frightened when she saw the folder in my hand. "What's that?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I simply set the DNA report on her chest. She looked down. Her breath caught. Her fingers curled. Color drained from her face as the realization carved into her. How did you—" "Under her bed," I said quietly. She flinched as if the words hit her. Then everything collapsed. Excuses, tears, half-formed explanations, her voice breaking in all the places she thought would move me. But she didn't understand. I wasn't there to be moved. I watched her unravel, her face twisting, her hands shaking over the truth she could no longer bury. "Please," she whispered. "We can fix this." I tilted my head. Fix? A year of secrets. A child born from betrayal? A life built on lies she assumed I would never question. No, I said calmly. You already had your chance to tell the truth. Her tears intensified, messy, frantic, desperate. I remained still, unmoved, almost bored. Then I delivered the final cut, the one that would end everything she thought she still controlled. I've already filed for custody. Her eyes widened. Horror replaced hope. She choked on air. You what? I stepped back from the bed, feeling nothing at all. You lost the right to decide anything the moment. You lied about who she belonged to. She tried to stand, to reach for me, but her legs buckled. Her sobs echoed off the walls. I didn't stay to watch the rest. I walked out of the room. Slow, calm, light. For the first time in months, the house felt clean. My daughter breathed softly in her room, innocent in ways neither of us deserved. I stood in the doorway for a long moment, watching her chest rise and fall, letting the truth settle in my bones. Not bitter, not broken, just awake. Everything I needed to know had been hiding in plain sight, under her bed, under my doubt, under the illusion of a family that was never real. And as I closed the door behind me, one final thought settled quietly in my mind. Sometimes the truth doesn't set you free. It simply removes the people who never should have had access to you in the first place.